All right, welcome guys. So in this video, I'm going to be teaching you the 4 steps you need to become successful in export. And this applies to you, whether you are new to export or you have been, exporting in smaller quantities before. After this video, you're going to see the things you need to do to ramp up your export. For those of you who don't know me, I'm with Export and Sell. And what we do is basically help businesses, African businesses mainly, to earn more in dollars using the proven system that big companies use. Big companies that are successful in export, we use the same system that they use, but you don't get to spend a tiny fraction of how much they spend. So let's get straight to the video. The 4 steps to become successful with export. Now, step 1 is what I call wealth finding. Now, what is wealth finding? A lot of times, one of the biggest complaints I hear from exporters or those who are trying to export, businesses who are trying to go into the international market, is that they can't find buyers. And when I look at it, I look at the statistics of sales in the USA. You have so much being sold in food. You have fashion, you have leather, you have art and craft. These are products that are selling in the billions. And then I ask myself, when they tell me they can't find buyers, who are the people spending all this money? And when I dug deeper, I discovered that one of their biggest issues is that they are trying to sell the wrong product. They have not done a complete analysis to know if the product that they are trying to sell is the product that is in demand. And that is very important. And that's why every exporter, whether you are new or old, if you have not run this analysis, you will see that you are losing money, especially for old exporters. You may have 5 products and you are currently exporting the 5, but you may see that if you do this analysis that I'm going to teach you how to do, you may discover that, you may need to either focus on 2 because that is where you have the highest demand. Now, this is very important because I remember a customer of ours, he came into Houston, our Houston office, and he went to the nearby African stores. He saw the price they were selling cassava flakes, commonly called gari, and he thought he could make a huge profit. So what they were selling for about $10, he could buy it for about $3 back home in Africa. And he went back, flew in bags and bags, spent over $4,000 just to fly these products in, and he couldn't sell a single piece. So when I did the analysis, I saw that his cost and everything, his profit, he wanted to sell it to the African stores for about $7, but the African stores were selling for 10. Now typically most stores want to make about 100% profit. So if you sell to them for 7, they want to sell about 14. So they were selling at 10. That's the African stores were selling at 10. So they were ready to buy at about 5. And the problem was that he didn't do his demand analysis to know the right price that these guys will buy from him. If he had done his analysis, he would have seen that it would not be profitable for him to ship those products using air. It would have been only profitable if he had used sea. So again, this is very, very important. You need to know, do your analysis, look at the pricing, know that there's a demand for the product before you start exporting it. Now, how do you know if there is a demand for your product? Now, in the old system, what did we used to do? We had to go to the Chamber of Commerce of the country that you're trying to export to. You had to go to your Ministry of Export or Transport or Finance or whatever it is. But you see, that method does not work anymore. And it's simple. If you are using data from those sources, most of those data are probably 6, 12, or even 24 months old, because they have to sell, retrieve the money and they collect the data. Now, the easiest way to know if a product is in demand is by running sales analysis on Amazon. Now, Amazon may not give you the total demand for the whole country, but it gives you an idea of how much is being sold for a particular product. And I can tell you for a fact, that you can extrapolate. You can, from most of the data you get from Amazon, extrapolate it to what is the potential in the country. Now, it doesn't work for every product, but for most products, I can tell you, you can use that data. So how do you do this? Now, there are tools that are available. One is Helium 10. So with Helium 10, you are able to go in, select a particular product that you are interested in selling, and look at sellers that are currently selling that product and punch it into Helium 10, and you will be able to do your analysis, and it will tell you how much such sellers are making on a monthly basis. Now, another tool you can also use for that is a tool called Jungle Scout. Now both of these tools are paid. You have to pay a certain amount every month, but the good thing is that they give you, I think, 7 and 14 days trial, so you can try it before you decide to buy. So again, those are the tools that you can use, and I can tell you, if you do this, you will be able to know not just if the product is in demand, you'll be able to figure out the sizes that you need to sell. So for example, you have people who come to me and they say they sell honey in 5 kilogram jars, and I'm like, look, I don't know anybody who's going to buy a 5 kilogram jar of honey. But if you go using Helium 10 and looking at Amazon, you're going to know that most people are buying honey in about 750 ml or 1 liter maximum. So knowing the product that is in demand is very, very vital. Now, let me just show you some of these products, so that as you run your analysis on Jungle Scout, now all the figures I'm going to be showing you here are figures that I use the Helium 10 to run. Now, the first one is All Natural Organic African Bar Soap. You can see that product is doing $105,000 every month. So are you going to tell me there is no demand for that? No, but a lot of you don't know. You keep selling this African black soap locally, whereas there's a global demand for it. The second one is the Sheer Moisture Face and Body Bar African Black Soap. That one is also doing $75,000 a month. So there is a lot of potential in some of these local products that we sell locally that we do not know there is a huge demand for internationally. Take a look at this. The Travando Men's Slim Wallet doing about $1.5 million every month. That is a leather wallet that a lot of companies in Africa can manufacture, but we're leaving all the sales, all the profit to companies coming from China. Another one is the Chaorin Ratchet Belt for men. Take a look at that belt. That belt is doing between $1.5 and $2 million every month. And these figures are real, actual figures from Amazon. If somebody is doing 1.5 million on a category of product, it tells you there's a huge demand. You may be able to come in and steal maybe $100,000 or $200,000 on a monthly basis from him after a while. Now take a look at this wooden furniture, Melissa and Doe children's chair, doing $195,000 a month. I mean, that is massive. Take a look at this one, the Amada Home Furnishing floating shelves, doing about $600,000 a month. Now, what it tells you is that, look, no matter the type of product that you're looking for, once you can run your analysis using Helium 10, using Jungle Scout, and you see there is a demand, you now know the type of product to focus on. Don't just ship anything thinking that there is a demand for it. No, you must do your profit analysis. And again, this is very, in fact, let me give you a little explanation of why this is important. We had a customer who they are into what do you call it? This biker's bracelet, leather biker's bracelet, and that was what they wanted to sell. They wanted to sell it on Amazon, and they came to us and said, okay, this is what we want to sell. Is this going to be profitable? And when we ran the analysis, we found out that it makes much sense for them to sell the smaller type of bracelet, because that is what most people use, you know. And when you look at the cost analysis for both, the smaller one will give them revenue of about 3 to 5 times what the bigger one, and they can make that smaller one with about 20% of the same leather they used to make the big one. And the funniest part of it was that the smaller one sells at a higher price, obviously because of the demand, than the bigger one. So again, you need to run your profit, your wealth finding, your profit analysis, your demand analysis to know if the product that you want to sell is in high demand. Now, we have a course 5-day challenge. It's free, and the link is up there. You can click on it to join a program. It's like I said, it's absolutely free, but for that 5 days, I'm going to guide you on how to determine that your product is in demand. You know, so we're going to dive into Jungle Scout or Helium 10. I can use any of them during the training. I'm going to show you criteria and various other things you need to follow to find out if your particular product is in demand. Now, I hope you've been enjoying the video so far. You've learned a lot. If you have, please click on the subscribe button and the notification icon so that anytime I release new videos, you will be notified. And I'm going to be releasing more in-depth videos on these things as we go along. Now, that is the step 1, wealth finding, where you determine if there is a demand and the potential profitability for your product. Now, step 2, I'm going to go into what we call wealth branding, right? Now, you've determined that this particular product is in high demand. The next thing is, how are you going to package it? You know, what will it look like when your customers see that product? And that's why we call it wealth branding. You are branding the potential, the product that has the potential to make you wealthy. Now, poor branding is very, very bad for business. You know, now take a look at some of these products and you will see why poor branding can be very bad for business. Now, the first one is the abo fish. You know, you see it there on the screen. This product, you can look at the branding. How many people are going to want to buy a product that is branded that way? You know, take a look at the second one. It's also the same type of fish, Ejakika fish. You know, that's the brand name that the sellers are selling it. But the bad thing is, if you look at the branding, you know, you don't even know how it's going to be packaged. You don't know how it looks. There is no label to show you if it's expired, when it was manufactured. There are so many things that go into branding that creates trust so that the buyer will trust what you are selling. And again, it's not just about trust, it's about how much you are able to sell a particular product. You know, I was at a conference, I think in 2018, World Food and Beverage Show in Miami, Florida, and a gentleman came to our booth. And he sells hibiscus tea bags. He does very well in the European market, and he was coming to test the US market, you know. And as we started talking, he told me, oh, he's from Egypt. He brands his product as hibiscus from the Nile. You can imagine, you know, when you see hibiscus from the Nile, what is the first thing that comes to your mind? It is pure, it is natural, you know, it's the best product out there. But you know, when I got to discuss further with him, he told me, well, you know, this is not actually gotten from the Nile. He actually gets the hibiscus from a town called Kano in Nigeria. You know, so that opens up. Now, I'm not in favor of him, you know, being deceptive or whatever, but I can tell you, you know, because he took a product, he knew how to brand it, he's able to sell each pack of that product for about maybe $2 or $3 more. Imagine if you're selling 10,000 of that product on an annual basis. That's a lot of money, and that's the power of effective branding. Now, how can branding increase your sales? You know, take a look at this product. You know, this is red palm oil. You can see the packaging. You can see how it is packed. Now, I don't know how many people are going to want to buy palm oil in that type of bottle. It looks like a bottle that is used to dispense drugs. That's not what you need. And that's why if you look at the sales, they are doing less than $50 on a monthly basis. Now, compare it to this one, the Notiva palm oil. Yes, the Notiva is organic. It has some other things. But I can tell you branding plays a big role in that price difference. And that's why the Notiva is doing well over $30,000 in sales on a monthly basis. But the other one is doing less than $50. Don't just throw your products into any pack. Think of the right way now to do it. Now, how do you determine how to brand your product? So, for example, you've determined, you want to sell cashew nuts, for example. What is the easiest way to brand it? Do you have to do trial and error? No. The simple way to do it, and this is what I tell everybody that comes through me, go and look for a similar product on Amazon. Buy the top sellers, those that have, 5,000, 6,000, 10,000, even 1,000 reviews. For the fact that they have so many reviews, it tells you that a lot of people are buying it. And you can further run an analysis on Jungle Scout or Helium 10 to see the amount of sales they are making. Now, buy that product, look at their design. Make a design that is very similar to that product. Now, the companies that own those products have spent thousands of dollars in branding it to what you see. So by just making something similar, you've cut yourself, you've saved so much. And again, that's what I tell you. I show you businesses how to blow up your sales without spending a fraction of what the big companies do. So whatever it is you're selling, whether it's food, it's clothes, it's shoes, whatever it is, look at the categories, look at the products in that same space that are doing so well. Buy it and make sure your branding is similar to what they have. Now, apart from that, now I'm going to go a little deeper into branding because, again, the essence of this video is to show you how to blow up your sales. Now, if you want to blow up your sales, step 4, I'm going to be talking about what we call multi-channel sales system. That means while you're doing your branding, you have to be prepared to sell in multiple channels. And that's why I talk about 4 types of branding you must consider. One is the normal one we know. That's the product packaging. So product packaging, I refer to it as product packaging. So it's just, how do I package my product? What type of label, what type of design? So this is my product. What type of packaging am I going to use? So that's number 1, so that's what everybody refers to as branding. The second one is what I call outer / or store packaging. Now, remember, we're showing you how to sell in multiple channels. And step 4, like I said, you're going to learn about that. But one of the channels you're going to be selling in, you're going to be selling to stores, you're going to be selling to distributors, and a lot of them, they don't want you bringing items to them in one pack. We've had a lot of customers who try to do this. You have somebody who is selling palm oil in 2 or 1 kg boxes, and when they deliver like 1,000 pieces all over the floor. No, you have to consider how the stores are going to move it, how they're going to put it on the shelves, because these are questions that a lot of the stores are even going to ask you when they are asking you to become one of their suppliers. So that's store / outer packaging. The next one is your shipping packaging. This is very important, not only for you shipping it to your export destination, but it's important when you are moving these products from store to store, from your warehouse to the stores you are selling it to. You need to make sure these things are easily packaged, because these are factors that come into play when these stores want to reorder from you. Now, the last and the most important one that a lot of people don't even think of is what I call promotional packaging. Now, what is promotional packaging? So you're new in export, or you are already exporting, you're selling to 1 or 2 stores? How do you expand to 10, 20, 50, 100 stores? You have to send them samples of your product. Now, if you are selling palm oil that is in 2 kg gallons, are you going to be sending that as a sample to 100 stores? No. So a promotional package is just a smaller version of your package that you use for sample purposes. It's going to cut your cost, both in sending samples. That is your marketing cost. And again, that's why I say we teach you how to blow up your export sales by spending a fraction of what the big ones are selling. So again, that is wealth branding. That is step 2. If you take time, follow these steps, I can tell you for a fact you're going to see a huge sale increase in your sales gradually. Now, the next step is what I call wealth transfer. Okay, so what is wealth transfer? Now you've decided on the product that you want to export. You've already branded it. Everything is looking perfect. How do you ship it from A to your export destination? That is what I call wealth transfer. The process of transferring it from your location to your buyer's location. Now, why is this very important? Because one, if you do not export the correct way, you are going to lose a lot of money, either in terms of fines or in terms of other issues, right? Now, what are the documents you need for export? Number 1, your commercial invoice is critical. Number 2, your packing list. And on the screen, I'm sure here are examples of these documents, and again, there are some key things that are common in this document. Now, I've provided a sample for you to download. Click the link below and you'll be able to download it, and you can modify it to suit your needs. Now, I'm going to talk about a couple of things on this documentation and why it's very, very important to get your documentation right. And that is what I show you in the wealth transfer module. Now, I remember a lady who called me, I think it was 2018. The lady called and said she shipped about 350 kilograms of food products. I think it was from Lagos or from Ghana, or I can't really remember, but she found my details online. She now called me and told me that they had seized her items. The US FDA had seized her items. And then I told her, okay, send me the shipping documents. And the only thing she had as evidence of shipping was the airway bill. This is 350 kilograms of food, commercial quantity. She did not have an FDA food facility registration that is required when you are shipping food into the USA. That is a big mistake. And I can tell you that mistake cost her close to $10,000. I don't want to go into the whole story, but she had to either abandon the items or have them ship it back, or she had to file the FDA. And while that FDA is being filed for over 10 items she has, she's incurring demurrage of close to $700 a day. Now, she didn't get back to me to tell me what she did, but I can tell you for a fact she lost nothing less than $10,000 in that transaction. So you need to know how to ship your items. Now, the second one is, if you look at the export document, the commercial invoice, the HS code. What is the HS code? Now, the HS code is the customs, is a code accepted by I think it's the World Customs Federation. They are the ones that come up with these codes, and it's a code for every type of product, and it is this code that is used to determine how much duty you pay. I have seen a lot of exporters that have no clue about the code. They just send it to a shipper, and some of the shippers don't even know the right code. They just put any code that can cost you thousands in dollars. When you look at the HS code, you're going to see that even the same item can have different duty. So if you are shipping, for example, tennis shoes, for example, if the value of that tennis shoes is say between I think 3 to 5, within a certain range, the duty can be different. If it's at another certain range, maybe $20 and above, the duty is different. So if you use the HS code for a lower, for items for tennis shoes that are valued, say, $3 and below, you're going to be paying more duty if the value of the shoes is about $20 and above. So that's just a rough example to tell you that, look, you need to understand your HS code. So get it right. And again, for some of you who are from any of these countries now, if you are from any of these countries, then what it means is that you can ship items to the USA duty-free under the AGOA legislation. And it's important to understand this. I have a separate training because the AGOA legislation, if I go into it, it could take probably another hour of training. But I have another training, and here is the link. The link is below, where you can go and study, learn about the AGOA legislation. Very, very important. Now, there are rules that apply to different items. It's going to be difficult to mention all of them, but generally, for most items that you're exporting, once you have the commercial invoice and the packing list, you're fine. For things like food, you're going to need an FDA food facility registration. For cosmetics, you're going to need, typically not necessary, but we advise you to have the voluntary cosmetic registration program. For things like fashion, you can export fashion normally, but if you want fashion to go duty-free, if you are coming from any of the AGOA countries, there is an extra step that you need to take. And I'm going to, be having training. So again, subscribe, because I'm going to be doing trainings in the next few weeks where I talk about how to export each of these specific items. For art and craft, you're going to need some documentation either from your local museum, so that they are certifying that you are not exporting one of those artifacts, one of those very expensive artwork. Health and supplement, you're going to need some other documentation for that. So again, when you are exporting, if you don't want to lose thousands of dollars, be sure that you understand the right process. So that is the third step when you're exporting. Again, exporting is a very lucrative business. You can make a lot of money exporting, but you need to do it the right way. So I've talked about the first step, which is the world finding, identifying that the product that you want to export is in demand and is profitable. The second step is the branding, where you make sure that your packaging is going to appeal to your buyers in the country that you're exporting to. The third one is the transfer process, which deals with the shipping. Now, the fourth one is probably the most important, and I call it the wealth explosion, or at times the multi-channel sales system. So what we're talking about there is how to sell your product to various channels. Now, I will talk about it shortly, but before I go about it, I want to tell you a little bit more about how export and sell helps African businesses to earn more in dollars, by using the same proven method the big companies use, but at a fraction of the cost. So one of the things we do is warehousing solution. So we have warehouses in the US and Houston where you can send your products, so it's a lot cheaper for a business to ship via sea than via air. Remember the first story about the guy who sent items, lost over $10,000 because he thought he could sell it even though he shipped it via air. If he had shipped those products via sea, he would have been able to sell it profitably. So with the warehousing, you are able to ship your items via sea, and as you have buyers from the multiple channels that I'm going to be talking about in step 4, we can from the warehouse dispatch it cheaply and faster to these buyers. Now, we also will offer, we have complete Amazon training. You can see that most of our sales process starts with Amazon. You need to learn how to sell on Amazon, and we offer a complete training on Amazon. We also offer various masterclass trainings. We have various softwares that are designed to make your export process cheap. We have the profit calculation software. We have the warehousing software. The warehousing software comes with the warehouse so that as your items come in, you are able to monitor it right from your computer. If you need us to ship XYZ to California, to New Jersey, we will do it within 24 hours. And then you also have the export documentation software that is designed to make sure you do not have issues exporting. You just put in the details of what you want to export, and it generates the commercial invoice as well as the packing list. Now, for those of you who are selling on Amazon, if you want, we can come in and do a quarterly audit of your Amazon account, show you where you are not making sales, the things you need to do, the changes you need to do. And if you want to start up an e-commerce website in the USA, we can also help. Again, our goal is simple. We want to take you from any $0 a month to earning about $100,000 monthly in 2-3 years. Now, it doesn't happen overnight, but I can tell you that can happen. So now let's go back to step 4, wealth explosion. Now you've done step 1, the wealth finding. You've done step 2, the wealth branding. You've done step 3, the wealth transfer. Step 4 is how do I sell to multiple channels? Now, one of the things you see that differentiates again the big companies from the small ones is the small ones are always thinking, oh, I have this one order, let me ship to them. They are not thinking of how do I get 20, 30, 40, 50 orders all at once. And that can happen only by selling via multiple channels. You know, there's a company I admire so much, Alafia. Alafia started at about 2003. An amazing company. They sell just African black soap. Rough estimates put their annual revenue at between 25 and 50 million dollars. How did they achieve this? Simple, by using a multi-channel sales strategy. They are selling on Amazon, they are selling in stores, they have wholesale buyers, they have distributors, they have their own website. That is what you need, a multi-channel sales strategy. Now, it is very easy to do. Like I said, we offer you all the options to sell on Amazon, training and everything. And again, if you're an African business, you have not signed up for your free Amazon account, I offer a training because most countries in Africa can now sell on Amazon absolutely free. So again, click the link below. I have a free training that shows you how to set up your Amazon account. So you sell on Amazon, you learn to sell to African stores. You know, we can help you. There are over 3,000 African stores or more all over the USA. They are looking for your product. You know, the sad thing is that most of the African stores are supplied by Chinese merchants, and it shouldn't be. And these are African food. So again, I'm serious. You know, a lot of the biggest suppliers, wholesalers to these African stores are Chinese stores. You know, you have these Chinese, they go to Africa, they create, you know, they look at our products, they manufacture it, and they are exporting. Why can't you do that? So another one is to sell directly to customers. You know, that's the third aspect of the multi-channel sales system. You know, so because you are able to have your products warehoused in the USA, and again, the warehousing cost is amazingly cheap. You know, you can warehouse for as little as $20-$30. Now, because you have your products there, you now go to Amazon, to Facebook, to TikTok, to Instagram. You are advertising your product, and as those people buy, you just tell us, ship this product to them. You will save a lot of money. Instead of using $50, $60, $70, $100 to ship from Africa, anytime you have an order for $10, $12, we'll ship it to them. Now, the next one is wholesale buyers. For those of you that want to sell in wholesale, you need to consider it. You know, you're going to have prices from certain people that make sense. You know, if it doesn't make sense, definitely turn down the trade. But if it makes sense, sell in wholesale. Then you can start up your own e-commerce platform. There are a lot of things involved in doing that, and I can show you that. I'm going to be doing a training on that, how as an African business, you can set up your bank account, you can set up your company in the USA, and you will have your own account where you earn in dollars, and even all right from Africa, you can transfer to your account. You know, we also have another channel, the 6th channel African Natural Store. So if you are warehousing your products with us and you subscribe to that package, we can sell your product on our platform. It's more profitable than selling on Amazon, and you're going to learn more about that. So again, these processes are easy to implement. Don't start an export business with the mindset that, oh, it's only when somebody orders my product that you're going to ship to them. You will never grow. You need to use a multi-channel sales strategy, have your items in the warehouse here in the USA, and you look at various channels. I can tell you for a fact, in 1 year, 2 years, you will never be the same. You're going to be amazed at how much you would have sold. Now, we have a lot of resources out there. We have a full export training program. If you want to sign up for it, the link is also down there below. It takes you through this whole process. I think it's about 17 hours of lectures, but I can tell you for a fact, when you go through that process, you have all the things that you need to become a successful exporter. Now, again, like I said, I'm going to be putting up a lot more videos. I'm going to put up videos on the wealth finding, whereby I go deep. I'm going to be running, you're going to see me do analysis on Helium 10 or Jungle Scout. I could use any of them. You're going to see me do it step by step. There are going to be processes that I take. And again, for the wealth finding, like I said, we have a 5-day, absolutely free 5-day challenge that you can sign up to. It's absolutely free. By the end of the 5th day, you would have known the right product for export. So again, the wealth branding, I'm also going to do a complete lecture on it. I'm going to do on the wealth finding, and I'm also going to do on the wealth explosion. So again, subscribe, click the notification button so that you are notified anytime we have products for, we have a new video. Thank you for watching, and let's increase the wealth of Africa. How many minutes?